Hello out there, we're on the air, and for the third week of the summer of 2026, it's Hockey Night tonight in Newark. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Jersey Pro League, live on your home for the JPL, Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you inside the glass of the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in the capital of the Garden State of Newark, New Jersey, for our live coverage here on BSB. My name is Trey Wright, and while the NHL season may have ended and the Carolina Hurricanes have taken their drinks out of Lord Stanley's Sterling Silver, we return for Week 3 of the JPL here this evening. Our double feature tonight features our very own BSB team taking on Capper Hockey Services, with Homegrown Hockey battling Mr. Lemon Stick Wax in the second game around 8:45 Eastern Time. For our opening matchup set to get underway here in just a few short moments with 90 seconds to go in warm-up. Beginning with Capper Hockey Services, they look to break above 500 for the first time since their season debut last week. A 7-3 win over the Hockey House podcast program and a 4-6 loss to Homegrown Hockey. Last week put them at 5th in the standings with 2 points. While Lehigh University's Matthew Nasinovich leads Capper in goals with 3 last week, he's among a slew of returning players from Capper Hockey Services' inaugural season back in the summer of 2025. We'll see what the sophomore program is able to do here in 2026. Still a lot of summer to go. And for BSB, they are still looking for their first win in 2026 after falling 0-2 in the first fortnight of the summer. No surprise to see the rider forwards of Justin Rauch, Shane Gutt, and Bronx team captain Ryan Kenna lead the way in scoring. But they've seen some of the top expected teams in the first 2 weeks of the season. An 8-2 loss to Homegrown Hockey on opening night 2 Mondays ago, and a close but no cigar score of 6-9 against the College Hockey Buzz program have put them in a 3-way tie for last, with 3 teams still in the club division looking for their first wins. But tonight could be a grade A chance to get their first win of the season. However, BSB is still looking for a goalie here this evening, as Casey Connor still yet to arrive. We'll have to see if he'll indeed be starting in net here tonight for BSB. So right now they've got a training pylon in net right now. Couldn't be as bad as Carter Hart was in the Stanley Cup final. I think you would probably rather that over Carter Hart in the Stanley Cup final. That'll be enough of that. But before we get to puck drop for Week 3, we'd like to thank everyone for their continued support of the Jersey Pro League here on our season-long coverage here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting on YouTube. And with the NHL season, the NHL is officially in their off-season, we should say. We'll continue to carry the mantle for this great sport of ice hockey from now until August, right before the 26-27 season begins for both the professionals and the collegiate skaters. And the latter featured heavily here on BSB. More on that later in the broadcast as we are getting ready to rock and roll for week number 3 of the Jersey Pro League. Taking a look at tonight's starting goaltending matchups, we'll begin with George Cote, the Madison, New Jersey skater, or the Madison, New Jersey goaltender, playing right now for Connecticut College in the NCAA D3 ranks. 1-1 on the season with a 4.5 GAA and a save percentage of 87.8. Not sure what the goalie training pylon's numbers are looking like. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case, and it looks like it will be, as Trayvon Walker putting the pylon back in its place. Probably does a lot better than Carter Hart, a lot better than Tristan Jarry, but not as good as Casey Connor has been this season. Still looking for that first win for the Williston Northampton School high school goaltender. On his second season with this BSB program, if memory serves me right. Breakout Sports Broadcasting and their white uniforms with blue accents compared to Capper Hockey Services. Now wearing red jerseys instead of their black ones from last year, if memory serves me right. And it looks like Michael Ty, I should say, will take the opening face-off opposite of the Ramapo College Roadrunner of Luca Carnamola. It looks like we're going to get things set here at 7:23 local time in Newark, New Jersey. Here we are for the opening draw. Ty and Carnamola. Carnamola wins it. We're off and running for Week 3 of the JPL. Carnamola has a try to put it on the tape of Brian Atwell, and this will go all the way back over to Ty. Atwell trying to get it back over to former Ryder Bronx Justin Rauch, graduated last season. This is Ty, who still has it. Trying to play it back over. And intercepted by Carnamola, trying to drive around Ty. Carnamola with the mitts. Can he drive around? Gets it over to Rauch. And Rauch will just send it wide. Back in it with it is Ty. And the Seton Hall prep forward, trying to wheel and deal down the far side with Dan Kolbanski right behind him. This will come back over where Tyler Kolbanski trying to clear it out. Trying to get it back over to Rauch. Rauch waiting for reinforcements, try to get it over to Carnamola. And instead it's taken by the 35 of Gus Chong, one of two substitutes for Capper on the ice tonight. The other one being the 20 of Brandon Revito. Capper has got it in their own end, taken here by Braden Senato. Trying to wheel it back the other direction for Isaac Suh. Suh partially tied up, and will come over to the 25 of Shane Gutt. Will get it up to the 21 of Ryan Kenna. Kenna trying to get it back over to Gutt. One-timer, just not enough mustard on the shot there for Gutt. Cote able to steer it aside, and now coming down the other way is Revito. Revito trying to put one off of the goaltender. Comes back over to Suh at the point, and Suh will slap it in for a dump and chase. Riley Gilligan with numbers around him. Gilligan trying to play it away, gets it back over across. In their own end, BSB will just dump it back out, comes back over to Chong. Chong, chased there by Kenna, and Ryan Kenna has got it, poked away for a brief moment. Chong not able to keep it in. Comes back to the neutral zone. This will be chipped in. Delayed offside is taken back away. They'll come back over, breakout, trying to break out of their own end. Former Rider Bronc and current Ramapo Roadrunner Tim Wanvig will be coming back for the 26-27 season as a grad student. As he awaits. Ryan Tobin trying to get it back over to Wanvig. Wanvig up to Steve Kappas, the Puerto Rican skater, trying to wheel and deal. So come back over. Tobin has got it. Colin McNulty to his right. He'll set it up for McNulty. McNulty surrounded by red and black. And he has it quickly taken away there by Sainato. Still looking for the game's opening goal. 12 minutes and 25 seconds to go in period number one. And currently it's Capper who has the only shot of the game. 1-for-1 is the metal mesh goaltender. That one whistles over Cote. I believe that's actually Breakout Sports Broadcasting, who is the designated home team, so that will be flipped on our scoreboard. McNulty down the far side, trying to drive around the defense, not able to get around Nasinovich. Nasinovich trying to get it to Patrick Devaney. Devaney, stick lifted away from him. It'll come back over to the 4 of Jack Ross and the Kimball Union Academy skater. Trying to drive it out, and he will. Back on the tape of Sonato coming over from Syracuse. And he tries to put a shot on, just goes a little bit wide. Trickles back out with Daniel Furman. Another skater from the Lehigh University Mountain Hawks. Trying to wheel it back over. Got it to Dylan Boris. Boris back over to Furman and trying to get it up to the 55 of Owen Young. Here comes the Chatham skater, and that's quickly taken back the other way. And Walker trying to set up Carnamola. Carnamola waiting for options. Gets it over to Rauch, and he just shot it wide. Oh, a little bit of a hook job there. Too much mustard on the shot there. Rauch set up once again. Walker has got it. Shot blocked by the left skate of Young. Takes it back out. And now potential numbers the other way. Here's a flip. Trying to get it back over and not able to send it over was Jack Gurney. And this will go out of play for a pause. And the hindrance with a goaltender that is solid like that is that if you are Capper Hockey Services, you can't exactly put it on net. There's only the shoulder and about maybe 6 or 7 inches on either side of the frame where you're able to really shoot. So I'll have to see if BSB is able to take advantage of this. Atwell with the dirty dangles, and Cote reads it like a picture book. Wow. That was nasty from Atwell, but Cote read it well. And the Connecticut College goaltender snuffing out the Roadrunner, and this will be a face-off once again in the offensive zone for BSB. Carnamola with another face-off win, quickly taken back, and now here comes White. Screaming down the other side. White trying to take a shot, and that was partially deflected by Dan Kolbanski. Carnamola on it again. Setting up Kenna. Ryan Kenna, the Rider Bronx team captain. Trying to find a lane. Back around he goes, back to the top of the zone. It pops back out, and here comes Chong the other way. Chong trying to spring the 23 of Maniscalco. Maniscalco collided there, and a good poke check there, and a good back check from Ryan Kenna. Here comes Isaac Suh. Pass deflected. Kenna's got it, trying to get it back over to Dan Kolbansky. He'll set up to Carnamola, but it's going to be whistled dead for a hand pass by the looks of it, and Carnamola not too pleased. And that was a really good break for Capper Hockey Services, because look at Carnamola. We've seen it so many times here in the Jersey Pro League. It's Carnamola, I believe it's his third year of competition, potentially fourth in the JPL. And he definitely has some of the best wheels on the ice, especially for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Currently Carnamola on the season, averaging a point per game, 2 points on the season so far for the Hamburg, New Jerseyan, 1 goal and 1 assist. And a shot from Sinato just goes over the crossbar. Was aiming for the top left corner, not able to pop it upper decky where Mama puts her zinnies, but Isaac Suh trying to drive around on the far side, puts a shot on, that goes over the crossbar. Rebound comes over to Ravito. Ravito not able to get anything there. Tracking back with it is Roman Kostrowski, and Kostrowski has that puck pinball just out of the zone for a brief moment. It comes back over to Isaac Suh. Suh, the former New Jersey Rocket, current Lone Star Brahma for the North American Hockey League, and future Air Force Academy Falcon, try to get it over. That one just off of the bar. Ravito looking for his first for the JPL. Good dangles out of Tim Wanvig. He caught a stick to the midsection, will continue to play on. Wanvig will drop it back to Shane Gutt. Those two not able to get anything there, and here comes White trying to get it around. Make that Sinato, who's been all over the ice. One player will, that's Sal Safante for Breakout Sports Broadcasting, will tumble there for a brief moment. Gilligan driving in. Gilligan in a 1-on-3. Gilligan moves to the outside. Nasinovich right behind him, and Nasinovich will win that battle. He'll set things up on the other way for Sinato. Sinato not able to drive in yet, and this will flip, remains in play. Nasinovich still with it, waiting for options. Good cross-seam pass there over to Gus Chong. And that will go out of play. With 8:23 to go in period number 1, a fast-moving opening period of play for game number 1 tonight. Of course, tonight, the front half of a back-to-back here for the Jersey Pro League Club Division, with Homegrown Hockey taking on Mr. Lemon Stick Wax at around 8:45 Eastern Time right here on BSB. And currently, this is in the BSB zone. Nasinovich waiting for an option. Off of the crossbar again, and Capper cannot buy a goal. Those were the two Lehigh Mountain Hawks of Furman, and Nasinovich not able to connect there. Trying to get there was Tobin over to Kappas. Kappas with a turnaround chance. Puts it on net, but Cote will shut the door once again. So right now, BSB with 3 shots onto George Cote. But the game still remains tied, 0-0. Young turns it over. Kappas trying to wheel after it here. He's going to go into a collision with Jack Ross. Trying to set things up for Tobin. A good windmill deke around the defense. Walker will corral this one, trying to play keep away from a couple of red and black jerseys. Gets it over to Kappas. Kappas to Colin McNulty. McNulty around Ross. McNulty still with it. Ross able to lift his stick. It'll come back over to Young. Young on it. Cross-slot pass. Back over. Off the end wall it goes. Not able to get a clean shot yet. There was Devaney. Comes over. Rauch has got it down the near side. Rauch and Gurney collide. Gurney will collect the loose change in his own end. Brian Atwell on the forecheck. Not able to keep it away. Gurney screaming through 2 BSB skaters. He gets around 2 more. Gurney able to get it over to the other side of the ice. Sets things up. Shot just off the iron once again. And that will actually go down as a shot on net, so a good save for Meshi McMeshface in the goaltending crease. 6:54 to go. In period number 1, Carnamola with a chance. Rauch with it. Cote just had to kick it aside on a weird play in front that fortunately did not go in if you're a Capper fan. White on a 2-on-1 on McMeshface, and that just goes over the crossbar. Plenty of action on either side. Kolbanski trying to fire it up. Not able to get it away from Dylan Boris. Here's Carnamola with a chance, and that just goes over the corner. Rauch with it again. Loads the gun for Atwell. Atwell with a chance. Carnamola on the rebound, not able to get anything there. Carnamola still with it. A bouncer that is covered by Cote. The net was off its moorings, and we will pause. Shots 5-2 in favor of Capper Hockey's services. Both goaltenders of George Cote and Meshi Meshface. Perfect 5 for 5 and 2 for 2 so far. Boris will backhand this out just off the skate of Kolbanski. Wheeling on it once again. Nasinovich with a chance. Rebound comes over to White, not able to get it there. Cleared out by Rauch. Carnamola looking to dig it away from Boris. This one just goes underneath of Rauch's stick, and Kolbanski will come back to retrieve it. Tyler Kolbanski clearing it out, gets it over to Carnamola. Carnamola on a foot race. Here's Cote way out of his cage. He's way out of position towards the cage, and a save by Dan Furman. Oh, Daniel Furman playing goaltender right there, and George Cote might owe him a steak dinner after that. White on it, gets it back over, and it's out. It still remains out of the cage. Some great back checking there by BSB, helping McMeshface out a ton. And Kolbanski trying to get it back over to Ryan Kaiola. This goes the length of the ice. Furman not having to play goaltender on this shift, however, but that was an incredible save. Cote was dead to rights, and that was tantalizingly close to being on the board for BSB. But it remains 0-0 for the most part. Off the iron once again, not able to get it. 5-hole there was Chong. He was poking at it. Was looking for a little bit of daylight, but not able to get anything there. And Suh will send it down. Will this be icing? It will be. .444 to go in period number 1, and this has been, in a word, exciting. This is pitched back out in the neutral zone by Capper. Coming back to collect with it is Riley Gilligan. Gilligan with some good moves, puts it on the tape of Ryan Kenna. Back to Safante. Safante pinballing, eventually finds Kaiola. Kaiola still with it. Kenna not able to get it back over on his tape. Still with it, hounded from behind by Chong. Wanvig has got it, puts it right back over to his former teammate of Ryan Kenna. Trying to remember if those two played at Ryder together. I don't believe they did. I think Kenna came in the year after Tim transferred from Ryder to Ramapo, if memory serves me right. He is a former teammate to Justin Rauch. Those two play in 2 seasons with the Ryder Bronx. Kenna's got this in the gear. We'll flip it back out. It comes back over to Suh. Suh gets it back over to Chong. A little miscommunication there from Capper, and now potential 2-on-1. Here's Gutt. Fires. Rebound. Comes back over. Cote just got a piece of it. Kaiola not able to get a whole lot on that shot. Keeping it in is Gilligan, however. Gilligan, good moves, good shot. And just over the bar it went and back out into neutral. Kostrowski on the other way. A great back check from Tim Wanvig saves the day. Guts pass intercepted by Ross. Ross on a 1-on-1. Ross takes a shot. Over the crossbar it goes. Rebound. Kappas trying to corral it. Not able to do so. Comes back over to Ravito. Ravito trying to dance with it. Comes back over to Sinato. Sinato not able to keep it in. Comes back over to Wanvig. Wanvig with a good stretch pass over to Shane Gutt. Gutt on a 1-on-1. Gutt trying to get it over to Tobin. Tobin not able to get it anywhere. Nasinovich still with it. Gets it back to Jack Ross. The Kimball Union Academy skater. Has it turned over to Trayvon Walker. Walker. Trying to survey. We'll get it back over on a touch pass from Tim Wanvig. Stretch pass all the way over to Shane Gutt, who nearly got railroaded by his own teammate. And Gutt and Nasinovich will try and battle along the end boards with Jack Ross entering the fray. Gut trying to look for Tobin crashing in. No dice there. Tobin with a turnaround chance. Stopped by Cote. 7th save on 7 shots for George Cote with 2:08 to go in the opening period. And Ross still with it. Trying to bank it back over to White. Shot off the mesh. Rebound came right back over. Ross with it, still on the goal line. Make that Devaney with it again. McMeshface comes up huge. Devaney surveying on it again. Here's White with a chance right in the body of McMeshface. That's sent all the way down and icing called. And McMeshface, right place, right time. Some incredible saves out of that youngster. I bet you he's probably from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a big steel frame around that young man. And he has come up big so far when he has been called upon. A couple of point-blank chances and even some action in the low crease. And this is pitched out by Breakout Sports Broadcasting, and this BSB team has done wonders for their backup goaltender coming into tonight. But still a lot of road to go in this long highway of a game with a $1:26 remaining in period number 1. And it has been a fun one so far in game number 1 of tonight's double feature. Rauch not able to get it away from Devaney. He'll come back to Dan Kolbanski anyway. Kolbanski with McNulty directing traffic, gets it over to Justin Rauch. Rauch on a 1-on-4. Not able to get it around the first one of Gurney, and McNulty a little too far out of position there. Young trying to get it back over to Dan Furman. Furman trying to drive it out as we've reached the final minute of period number 1 with 56 and a couple of ticks to go. This pops out of the zone, up into the netting, and we'll have an icing. We'll have another face-off, I should say. Face-offs and icings. Very different in the sport of ice hockey, I should know. I've been following this sport for about 11, 12 years. I should probably know that. And it's been a game of attrition so far. Pretty much just a ton of back and forth play. And we said in the pregame show, as Kolbanski gets leveled off there by Tom White, those two reverberating off of themselves. I'd give that a 0.5 on the Richter scale for a couple of big bodies colliding in the neutral zone. 36 to go in the first period, and Capper looking to score a late one here. They've had the edge so far, shot from long range over the crossbar once again. They have not been able to hit net just yet, and of course McMeshface has been resilient in net. Trying to change that is White. And trying to change that is BSB. McNulty trying to get off to the races, flips it over to Kolbanski a little too far out. Oh, Kolbanski just a little too far behind the play, and now numbers the other way with Capper with 6 seconds to go, 5 to go. Trying to get there is Ty, he sends it over the crossbar. Back over to White it comes. White looking for one final chance. Not able to get it there was Maniscalco, and that's where it will result with 15 down and 30 to go. It's a shutout bidding here between George Cote and McMeshface. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments for the second period of play here on tonight's coverage of the Jersey Pro League Club Division here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Back for the second period for tonight's opening matchup of the third week of the season for the Jersey Pro League Club Division. Here on tonight's coverage on Breakout Sports Broadcasting of Breakout Sports Broadcasting versus Capper Hockey Services here tonight on BSB. Trey Wright on the call, and after 15 minutes of play, we remain deadlocked at 0-0. With this game, with how back and forth it has looked in the opening 15 minutes, beginning to look like some of the football matches that you'll be seeing at MetLife here, or excuse me, New York, New Jersey Stadium, I should say. The first of those games coming tomorrow afternoon between France and Morocco. Should be fun. Of course, the World Cup in full swing. And Ryan Kenna trying to get into full swing, trying to turn it around. No dice there. Comes back to Tobin. Tobin surrounded by red and black jerseys. Finds Isaac Saw. Rather, that's Dan Kolbanski. I got the 44s mixed up, and it wasn't even Kolbanski. It was Tim Wanvig at the point looking for his first of the season. Wanvig trying to knife it back over to Riley Gilligan. And he'll do so. Gilligan. Slap shot incoming, and Cote with a big save there. And you know what? If you're Riley Gilligan, why not make some of those plays, and why not try and put the puck towards the net? Quick shot, quick goal! Ryan Kenna right off of the face-off. Lasers one just over Cote. I think George got it by maybe 65% of that shot. But Ryan Kenna opens the scoring not even a minute into period 2 when it's 1-0 BSB. We're going to talk about Riley Gilligan and his laser of a shot he brings over from the University of Rhode Island Rams. Ryan Kenna from the Rider Bronx says, you know what, my shot is a little bit harder than yours. And he'll open the scoring. We'll get the particulars for you in a brief moment. Pitching that one backhander past McMeshface's Gurney. And now Capper in desperation mode right now potentially, but still a long way to go in this game. Only a minute gone in period number 2. Trying to find it there is Gilligan. And this is for a couple of these skaters on Capper Hockey Services. This game is personal for Matthew Nasinovich and Dan Furman. They're going to be battling a lot against Riley Gilligan because if you remember, earlier this year here on BSB for the ECHA tournament, the opening round of that tournament between the Lehigh Mountain Hawks, and that one off of the mask of McMeshface, and he'll continue to keep his streak alive. That's now 5 saves on the night for that young man from the Steel City. Wanvig with some good moves. Trying to move around. Sets up Shane Gutt. And George Cote dancing with the puck a little bit. But he's able to continue to make the pause. And he will make a save. Shots now 12-5 in favor of Breakout Sports Broadcasting. And they know that they have got a hot goaltender on their hands. He's looking a lot like Brendan Bussey out there. I'm not going to lie, folks. Of course, Brandon Bussey, his first career playoff shutout coming last night. And could not have come at a better time to win Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals as Nasinovich trying to drive it back over, not able to get it back to Michael Ty. White finds Ty. Ty looking to drive around, saved by McMeshface, and this will come back over into the corner. Gutt trying to chase after it, Nasinovich with it. Dancing on the blue line. This one just trickling in there. Ty not able to keep it away from Walker, and Ty has got it. Ty with a chance. Bar down. No, he didn't score. It was off of a couple of different pieces of iron. Oh, my Lord. Capper Hockey Services cannot buy a goal. And we'll play on. And oh, Steve Kappas nearly off to the races. That would have been big there, ladies and gentlemen. Rauch turns it around. Kappas still with it. Not able to get it there. Comes back over to Ross. Ross, top of the zone. Kappas trying to get off to the races with Rauch to his left-hand side. Ross with a big back check. Kappas has it at his feet, trying to find it. Kostrowski trying to find it as well. White has got it. Finds it over to Ty. Ty looking to cross over, back over to White. White to Kostrowski. Not able to get anything there, and Gut looking for the stretch pass. No dice. Ross on a back check, and back to what we're talking about. The rivalry between Nasinovich, Furman, and Gilligan back when the Lehigh Mountain Hawks fell to the Rhode Island Rams 3-1, and that one from long range in the back of the net. Roman Kostrowski playing for the Elon program, and Acha M2 will even the game, and it is 1-1. And we'll take another look at that. He's taking a gander there all the way from about the left side. Actually, make my mistake. That was actually Jack Ross, who gets his second of the season. I think he may have caught McMeshface out to lunch there a little bit. I'm not sure if he was expecting that great of a shot. Well, right back to where we started from. Both goaltenders have got their shutout bids nixed here in period number 2. And we are off and running. And now a 2-on-1 once again. Capper trying to take advantage of a little momentum. That one sailed over the crossbar. Fight forward in the corner. Furman at his skates. Puts one on net off of the mask of McMeshface, and he'll make a save. Save number 5 on the night. Trying to play it back up here is Carnamola. Carnamola looking for the backhander, partially blocked by the 26 of Boris. Kolbanski trying to find McNulty. Nothing there for those two. And Kiola make that Safante. Still trying to get it there. This one off of Kolbanski, and now numbers the other way once again for Capper. That one, a dart from about 45 feet out. They score. So 2 quick goals in rapid succession, and Capper Hockey Services out front for the first time tonight. It's Kostrowski with his first goal and point of 2026. So we'll take a look at this. It all starts with some good defense in their own end. And Roman Kostrowski, you're going to see him go off to the races here on the far side. Loads the gun, and just over that left shoulder of McMeshface. That's really been a little bit of a weakness here for that young goaltender. We'll see if he'll have to adjust at all. Gus Chong looking to join the goal-scoring parade. He's not able to get through the crossing gates. Kiola trying to find Atwell. Nothing there. Young was trying to find Gurney. Tobin has got it. Puts on the brakes. Finds Kiola, and Cote will make the stop. So Cote will keep his team up by 1 goal so far. Not the best lead in the world that you want to have, but still it's a lead. Capper's first of the night. And Isaac Suh looking to add on to it. It's off the crossbar again. Suh was just trying to look for that little piece of daylight there between McMeshface's mask and the pipe, and he found a little bit more pipe than he would want to. Way from long range, they score again. It's Pat Devaney from all the way in the neutral zone, just whipped it around, and he brought it downtown. It's 3-1 Capper. What a shot from Patrick Devaney, and the West Caldwell, New Jersey native, just turning around and whacking it to make it 3-1 Capper. Midway through this second period, and I think that magic, I had to bring up the legend of Brandon Bussey. I had to make that comparison, and I think he is unfortunately telling the hockey gods, you know what, I don't want anybody to compare me to anybody right now. Gurney on once again off the body of McMeshface, and he's just trying to shake some cobwebs out of his head. He has been hitting the mask a couple of times in this game so far, at least 2 or 3. Saw from the blue line, creeping towards the face-off circle. Finds Gurney. Gurney turning away from Kenna. Gurney still waiting for an option. Puck rolls off his stick, and we'll find Riley Gilligan. Gilligan, Kenna, Gurney, and Devaney. 4 skaters fighting for it. It comes to none of them. It'll eventually find Chong. Chong trying to find it back over to Devaney. Turnaround chance just goes wide. Nasinovich now on the near side. Right in front of Wanvig. Chong backing up. Kenna doing the same as well. And this will be pitched back out into neutral by Wanvig. Will immediately come back over to Michael Ty. Ty and Wanvig tied up. Freed over to Kenna. Kenna trying to get it around White. White finding it around Gilligan. Gilligan, surrounded by red and black jerseys, finds Wanvig. Wanvig with Shane Gutt opening up a ledge. Wanvig still with it, trying to keep it away from Ross. Had a great chance there, but Nasinovich able to take it away from both skaters. And he'll eventually get it back over to Jack Ross. Ross, one goal already tonight. The go-ahead goal this evening finds Ty. Ty, wow, had a great chance there in front. Couldn't tell who that was. I believe that was Connor Maniscalco with a drive. Nothing there. 7:15 to go in period number 2. You can cue the Bon Jovi in game number 1, folks. We're past the midway point. In tonight's game, a 3-1 advantage. Trying to make it 3-2 was Trayvon Walker. Cote will shut the pillows there. Another bouncing puck finds Maniscalco. Trying to get it back over to Ty, and it'll come to Nasinovich. Rolls off it just a little bit, where Ross has got it. Nasinovich beginning to wheel and deal. Lehigh's Mountain Hawk looking to add on to the scoring. Trying to get it back to Tom White. No dice there. Maniscalco has got it. Puts it on. Rebound collected there by McNulty. That was a dangerous bounce in front of his own goaltender. Tobin trying to find it up. 6:16 to go in period number 2. Fight for the puck. McNulty has got it. Right in the left side corner, trying to find Tobin once again. And they're not able to connect. Here comes Ty in a 2-on-1. Walker trying to block. Ty open all the way over and just lifting it over the crossbar. McNulty, rather, it was of McMeshface was White. There's too many mix on the ice. Unfortunately, you've got McNulty, you've got McMeshface. There's only 2, as Cote will make the stop. Or we'll get the pause. Could use some McDonald's, though, however. Had some McDonald's yesterday. And it looks like we are getting a backup goaltender on the bench here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting, so that could spell the end of the night for Mesha McMeshface, and I believe it has. So we'll try and get the name of the goaltender that will replace McMeshface, but what a job for Mesha McMeshface, especially in that first period. 4 saves on 7 goals on 7 shots faced. And he will be pulled for the flesh and blood of another goaltender. But what a job by that young man from the Iron City of Pittsburgh. The Steel City of Pittsburgh, I should say. 5:40 to go in period number 2. And BSB enduring a goaltending change here tonight. We'll see if that'll spark a little life into that program. Cote will get this back across to Furman. Furman pickpocketed by Atwell, and he'll quickly get it back over. Roverito turns it aside, and that'll be chipped way out of play and on a ledge there. As Luca Carnamola will send that one up on a ledge, and that will probably remain there for the next 20 years here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. And puck sent back over from the bench. Linesperson will drop it. And we will get ready to go as a couple of late skaters coming back here. Here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Quick shot off the iron. Once again, that was Atwell with a dart. And just off the side post again. Atwell from the other side. This time it's saved by the flesh and blood of Cote. Ravito directing traffic. Good skating there by Sanada, but he was quickly turned aside. Trying to get it there is Kostrowski, one of the 3 goal scorers tonight for Capper Hockey Services. Taken down in a heap, and we are going to get a penalty shot. That was Brandon Ravito, who was hauled down. And now Capper with another chance to try and put themselves up by 3, and that's about the point where you're starting to feel comfortable, but you can't get too comfortable. Ravito, the Ocean, New Jersey native, last played hockey for Christian Brothers Academy back in 2025, and here he is. And a great save. So a great save out of the Breakout Sports Broadcasting goaltender with 4:39 to go in the second period. That'll definitely give BSB a little bit of life. Capper looking to get things back over there on that chance. Furman in neutral. Trying to play keep away from Ryan Kenna, the lone goal scorer for BSB so far. Trying to keep it away from Tobin as well. Tobin has got it. Shane Tobin waiting for an option. He'll launch it all the way over. Off the glove of Furman will find Kiola. Kiola was saw right behind him, was trying to find an additional teammate. No dice there. Good moves out of Gurney. Really good moves. Loads up Foreman. Furman with a chance. Way up into the air on a shoulder save by BSB. Time continuing to wind down in this second period of play, but what a middle frame it has been. 4 goals scored in this period, and the lion's share of them belonging to Capper Hockey Services. They've got 3 of them. This will go all the way down. Tyler Kolbanski has got it in his own end. Caught a stick in the midsection there from White. Will continue to play on. Saw trying to track this down. Shane Gutt first to it, trying to find it, and in front they score! Gutt saw the defenseman crashing towards him. He lobbed a prayer into the low slot, and lo and behold, Mr. Justin Rauch scores. And BSB is right back in it. Take a look at it once again. You can see Gutt. He had the icing beat out. You saw that defenseman come in. Right place, right time. And they don't ask how greasy the goal is. They just ask that you put it in the back of the 4x6, and BSB right back in it. Rauch looking for it once again. And no dice there that time. That would have blown the roof off that bench there for BSB. We talked about that trio of rider skaters, of Ryan Kenna, Shane Gutt, and Justin Rauch, and lo and behold, all 3 of them on the score sheet right now, with Kenna and Rauch the 2 goal scorers in this game so far, both of them coming in the second period of play. And now looking to respond in kind. Once again, as Isaac saw, he was partially hauled down. Trying to find Furman with a turnaround chance. Or that was Gurney who went wide. White trying to get it back over to Chong. Chong will take it up to the top of the point. Finds Ty on it. Ty cross slot feed. Nothing there to Maniscalco. Chong on it. Chong with a chance off the body. I believe that was off the left leg of Gilligan. Nasinovich with a bouncing puck. And that one is saved. We're talking about Brandon Ravito. He's being a sub. We'll take a look at the other sub for Capper Hockey Services, Gus Chong. As Trayvon Walker trying to get out of his own end, he'll do so. Delayed offside. Taken back here by BSB. You want to know why I knew that name sounded familiar? Played a game with the Mercer Chiefs NCDC program back in the 23-24 season. Currently plays high school for the Berkshire School. As Walker trying to drive in, and we're going to get a delayed penalty. It will be against Capper. See what the penalty will be. It is a high stick. And a golden opportunity for BSB to get a chance to get back into this game and tie it up. It'll be Trayvon Walker, the one to take the faceoff. And he will be right down Broadway against George Cote. Walker will start to the left-hand side. Cote is ready in the butterfly. Walker trying to drive around, and Cote says no. Slides the pads around. Walker not able to find daylight, and Cote saying bing bong, doors are closing. And both goaltenders with incredible saves on the penalty shot, and we remain 3-2 in favor of Capper. 20-12 the shots in favor of BSB. They have definitely gotten their licks in. But Capper has especially come alive in this second period. Again, they got 3 goals. All 3 of their goals on when McMeshface was still in net. Trying to change that statistic was Sinato. Nothing there. Sinato trying to glove it back down to himself. Got tied up with Atwell. They'll find a Ross. Ross looking to go across to Nasinovich. Nasinovich to find Ravito. Ravito looking to find it back over. Loose in the slot. BSB was not able to get it over. And Breakout will actually break out of their own end. Carnamola trying to find his Roadrunner teammate of Atwell with 30 to go in period 2. Sinato wheeling up. 1 goal game so far, trying to change that once again, and a great save there out of the BSB goaltender. It's Roman Kostrowski was looking for his second of the night. Giving chase is Ryan Tobin. Bouncing puck, sticked aside by the BSB goaltender. Nasinovich with it. Nasinovich turns it over. Trayvon Walker has got it with a couple of seconds ticking down. That will do it for period number 2. No goals in the first 15, 5 goals scored in the second 15, and we have got one heck of a final 15 minutes of our opening game of the night to go here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. We'll be back for the third period of play between Breakout Sports Broadcasting and Capper Hockey Services live on BSB. $30 down, 15 to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for tonight's broadcast of BSB versus Capper Hockey Services. The first game of Monday night's double feature here tonight on Breakout Sports Broadcasting on YouTube. My name is Trey Wright for BSB, and BSB has currently got the bookend of the goals in this game. They scored 2 goals in that second period of play, but 3 goals were scored by Capper Hockey Services, and they currently lead by only 1, 3-2, with 14:47 to go in period number 3. It's been a good night so far. Breakout Sports Broadcasting had the early lead, and trying to get the lead back to 2 there was Pat Devaney. Nothing there once again. Gurney on it. Dan Kolbanski had it, lost it, and this will be lofted up into the netting. But BSB scored the opening goal. 3 consecutive goals for Capper Hockey Services. BSB makes a goaltending change. And lo and behold, the most recent goal in this game coming from Justin Rauch. Late in that second period to bring us to where we are. Right here and right now, looking up at the particulars of this game. Here in a moment as things will catch up, taking a look at the particulars. No assists on the majority of the goals. Ryan Kenna got the goal scoring started. He's trying to find it is Dan Furman. Furman going to drive around. Rebound came over to Dan Kolbanski. This will be recycled out where Tyler has got it, trying to keep it away from Furman. Kappas trying to get it away from Gurney. Gurney waiting for options. Rebound came back over, and a great save there out of the BSB goaltender. Jack Ross, Roman Kostrowski, and Patrick Devaney, the 3 goal scorers for Justin Rauch. From Shane Gutt and Tyler Kolbanski made this a 3-2 game. Kenna, who got the opening goal of week 3, up to Steve Kappas. Kappas crosses back. Not able to get it back to Safante, and Safante not able to get a shot off. Safante, Kappas, and Gurney all fighting for it in the corner. Safante and Gurney were scuffling there for a brief moment. Safante and Gurney still going after one another, and looks like we might be getting some misconducts handed out. And actually, we're going to be getting a penalty shot here for Jack Gurney. As Sal Safante, a little too aggressive there on that play. And Safante trying to plead his case. As Jack Gurney, the Montclair, New Jerseyan, looking for his 2nd goal of the season. Comes to the near side. Trying to find it on, and doing the split saves there was the breakout goaltender. And it remains a 1-goal game. And Safante with some words exchanged between him and Gurney. We'll have to see if that will boil over. And now the 2 benches beginning to bark at each other like a couple of junkyard dogs, and that's how chippy this game has gotten. With BSB still leading in the shot category, 20-17. Capper has gotten back in that battle. Of course, they have the lead and they have the edge in the goal scoring just slightly with 13-13 to go. Still a lot of time. A lot can happen. Maniscalco trying to change that, trying to get his team back up. Rebound, it's on the goal line, and it's in. So what a response after the barking and yapping. And Capper right back in the lead by a pair. And I believe it's going to be Michael Ty, and it will be. Ty was first in the Selly line, and that was just nothing but chaos down low. And Capper, their 18th shot of the night, gets their 4th goal of the evening, their first on the new goaltender, as Chong with a turnaround chance. Net is empty, but not able to get anything there was Maniscalco, and he's going to suplex Riley Gilligan. Now we're starting to see that chippiness spread between both benches. And both these teams on 1-game losing skids right now. For BSB, it's a 2-game losing skid, and they're trying not to fall down 0-3 to start the 2026 campaign. But they are currently running out of daylight with 12:27 to go in the 3rd period. Gilligan lofts it up to Shane Gutt. Gutt with Rauch right behind him, trying to find Kiola, a bouncer right under Cote, and he'll swat it into the near side corner. Finding it is Ross on it. Ross looking to get on it once again. Ross driving around the defense. Ross driving around the goalie, but making a great save once again there is BSB. Still have not been able to identify the BSB goaltender. We'll see who it will be if they have it on the live game sheet. And they currently do not, if I'm not mistaken. They have it listed as Casey Connor. We'll double check that at the end of the game potentially, but nonetheless. Trayvon Walker with it. Back to Atwell. Atwell at the near side corner, and the road runner trying to find another skater. That's Shane Tobin. We'll get it up to Ryan Tobin. Ross on it. Dangerous loose puck, but fortunately Capper was able to clear it out. Carnamola not able to get it there. Finally brings it in the zone, but he's just a little bit offside. And that'll do it for this shift. Taking a look at tonight's next matchup here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We're Homegrown Hockey. You want to talk about national teams here for the World Cup. The William Patterson national team for Homegrown Hockey. They'll be taking on Mr. Lemon Stick Wax later on tonight. Puck drop slated for in about a half an hour from now. Around 8:45 Eastern time here. Right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, setting up to be a great one between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Of course, LSW, the regular season champions and club champions from 2 seasons ago, if memory serves me right, taking on the defending champions from last year for Homegrown Hockey. And that's going to be a little bit of a battle, a little bit of a personal battle there between LSW and the boys from William Patterson. We'll go on that a little bit later on in the broadcast, but right now we've still got 10:43 of some great hockey and a very tight game so far as Atwell with a turnaround chance. Glove down and stopped by Cote for the pause. And of course, getting a look at the rest of the schedule for this week. It's getting a look at the Pro Division schedule for tomorrow. Only one game for the Pro Division tomorrow night between 43 Oak and X Hockey Products. First place team and the last place team in the Pro Division going head to head. That'll be tomorrow evening at 8:45. Very own Carollo Pascal with a call, and Capper hitting the post once again. So I believe the ghost of Meshy McMeshface might be still in the crease, at least on that side of the ice. And they're not able to hit Pater to bring it back up to a 3-goal advantage. Nasinovich trying to change that. Firing on through. Passes back. Gurney with a chance. Rebound came back over. Over the crossbar it goes once again. Rebound came over again, and a great glove save to keep this game only decided by 2. Another great save in close, and another pad save as Capper, for the first time tonight, has drawn even in the shot category, 23-23. The shots even at 23. BSB looking here on shot number 24 to go back ahead. Cote got the save, and coming back with it once more is Chong. Make that Ravito. Ravito looking for the turnaround. Nobody was home to collect the rebound scraps. A little too far out for Carnamola. Cote coming out to play it. Will find Furman. Furman all alone on his own island. Trying to find it back to Kobanski. Kobanski turns it over, and Sanato will just go over the blue line for the offside pause with 8:54 to go in the third. And other than yesterday, last night, and tonight, the next 3 days will be single-day showings here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting for the Jersey Pro League. Like we're talking about, tomorrow night will be the only Pro Division game of the week between 43 Oak. Actually, my apologies. It'll be the only Pro Division game tomorrow between 43 Oak and X Hockey Products. Then on Wednesday, it'll be the Hockey House podcast, led by Jake O'Connell. They'll be taking on Breakout Sports Broadcasting for BSB's second game of this week. Close front, right at the doorstep. Somehow it stayed out. Oh my goodness gracious. How did that stay out of the net? Everybody was tangoing and dancing with the puck on the goal line, and somehow We remain up, and now, right as we talked about, incredible moment there, Owen Young will bring it back to essentially a field goal lead. It's 5-2 with 8:17 to go, and what a sequence. We'll get another look at that incredible sequence, at just what transpired over the last 30 seconds. It was chaos defined. And that one just over the glove side to bring it back to a 3-goal advantage. And playing for the pause once again is BSB. And Capper Hockey Services have got their biggest lead of the night at 3 goals. They currently lead 5-2 with time continuing to dwindle down. Trying to get it there as Ross make that to Venny. Gurney turning away from Justin Rauch. Gurney toes the blue line. Gurney with a chance, and then he shoots it about 6 feet wide. Gurney's still with it. Turns it around. Great move to get around Kiola. Finds it back over to Owen Young, who just recently scored his 2nd goal of the season. Young, the young skater from Chatham. 3 points on the year so far. Just collected his 4th on the most recent goal. And we're past the halfway point in period number 3. Like we're talking about, BSB has got 2 games this week. The next play on Thursday against Jake O'Connell and the Hockey House podcast crew for Top Line Hockey will take on the Team Goose Foundation on Thursday, the only showing that night. All the games after tonight will be beginning at 8:45 Eastern Time right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, your home for the Jersey Pro League for both the pro and club divisions here on BSB, and that will pretty much do it for week number 1. Week number 3, I should say. Taking a look at some of the results from last night with 6:46 to go, and another great drive and a great goal. Gus Chong in his Jersey Pro League debut will put a touchdown on the board for Capper. And they will now lead by 4 goals. And this game beginning to get a little bit out of reach here for BSB, but we have seen bigger comebacks before. We saw the Knicks have a 29-point comeback against the San Antonio Spurs to win game number 4, I want to say. It was game 4 to essentially decide the NBA Finals. Of course, the Knicks winning their first championship in 53 years the other night. The city of New York celebrating in subsequent fashion. Carnamola near trying to be off to the races, try to get this comeback started here for BSB. But it's intercepted by Gus Chong, and the former Mercer Chief and the current Berkshire Schools skater. Well, hold on, we'll bank it over to Thomas White. And White will get it up to Isaac Saw. Still looking for his first point of the season, if I'm not mistaken. 2 assists on the year for the Chatham, New Jersey Lone Star Brahma in the North American League. Tobin trying to go between his legs. Puts a shot on. Saved by Cote. Rebound came right back to Carnamola. And he's saved by the Great Wall in red once again. George Cote, one of the best goaltenders in the regular season last year for Capper Hockey Services. He's looking to do the same here tonight, and Capper well on their way, as this will be blown dead. It'll be a tripping call going against Capper. And hold the phones, ladies and gentlemen. There's still 5:31 to go, and we have seen crazier things happen before here in the JPL. Penalty shot. It's going to be taken by Lucas Carnamola for BSB, and if they score, comeback could very well be on here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting with 5:31 to go. And George Cote will snuff that out like he's Tony Soprano. Carnamola going glove side on Cote, and Cote saying, you know what, I'm just going to make a quick save with the pads. So the comeback bid will have to remain a little bit halted here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. They need 4 to tie the game and 5 to win. Gut looking to get a chance in close. Cote, I believe he got a little piece of that. Kenneth trying to get it back over to McNulty with Shane Gut all alone. This will find Ross over across. Ross getting around Kolbansky, and the other Kolbansky brother trying to get it away from his own cage. Tyler Kolbansky trying to get it around Brandon Ravino. Ravino caught in his skates. McNulty trying to fist it out there once again, and he will. Not able to get down. He's able to get back up onto the knives, though. Kenna to Gut. Gut not able to get in. It's stopped by Cote. Kenna collects the rebound. Keeps it away from Senato. Kenna dancing. Kenna still with it. Up to Tyler Kolbansky. Kolbansky with a howitzer, and that's Waffle Ward into the corner. Kostrowski not able to keep it in. Kostrowski got it out. Kolbansky trying to pitch it back in. Bouncing puck goes past Gut. Nasinovich on to the races. Nasinovich in a 3-on-1. Takes a shot himself, and the save is made. Taking a look at last night's scores. This College Hockey Buzz took down the Hockey House podcast 7-4 yesterday evening, and the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation beating out Synergy Uniforms 5-3. The other 4 teams will all play tonight. Nasinovich gets it back over across to Devaney, and Devaney looking to hold on, trying to pad this lead as much as possible to ensure that Copper is going to get their second win of the season here in game number 3 of their year. Nothing's over till the Fat Lady sings, and Nasinovich trying to warm up the pipes for the Fat Lady there. Just off of the bar once again, and Nasinovich cannot buy a goal tonight. Had 3 goals in his opening 2 games of the season. And still a little bit of life for BSB. We'll see if they'll pull the goaltender. Nasinovich, a great job keeping that puck at the blue line to keep it in the zone. Gilligan will say otherwise. That one does a one-hop off the linesperson's head. And Young will keep it in his own end. Young will drive it around Rauch, and playing it back here once again is Gurney. Trying to milk as much time off the clock. He'll get through a couple of BSB skaters. Takes a shot off the high glass. Gurney will collect his own rebound. Nasinovich intercepted by Gilligan. Gilligan nearly ran right into Gurney, and he nearly ran right into Venny. Had to do some triple axles and other figure skating terminology. I don't know what it is. Other figure skating terminology, I don't know exactly what the terminology would be, but that was some nifty skating there out of him. Ross getting around. 2:47 to go in period number 3. Again, Kappas trying to bump off Devaney. We'll find Justin Rauch. Rauch will find Ryan Kaiola, excuse me. Kaiola looking for an option, trying to find Kappas in close. Ty with it, screaming down. 1 goal already tonight, and he's bumped off. Comes back to Taiola trying to find Kappas. That bumped off Rauch. Rebound came right back over to Tom White. White driving in. He shoots. He scores. Tom White with the nifty, dirty dangles puts the extra point through the uprights, and it's 7-2 Capper. I believe the Fat Lady is going to be singing some Figaro here with 2:16 to go. That should be the final nail in the coffin. We get another look at it. Watch White. Gets it in his own side of the neutral zone, and he's going to be on a 1-on-3. Dances through everybody and sends it over the left shoulder of the goaltender to drive home that final nail here in tonight's game. With 2 minutes to go in the third period, We'll see if BSB is able to net 5 goals to tie the game. We've got to make quick work, however. Tobin and Maniscalco will collide. Those two will get back up to the knives. But a great win for Capper Hockey Services tonight. And it was a full team effort. If I'm not mistaken, as Tom White's trying to change the storyline as I'm trying to talk about it, I don't believe that any skater for Capper has multiple goals tonight. A full-fledged effort on all fronts here from this young Capper team. Of course, historically, as of last season, this Capper team mostly made up of high school and amateur players. And that's exactly what it is here tonight. Of course, you've got a couple of Vacha skaters returning from last year sprinkled in with Nasinovich. It was a high schooler last year. Same thing with Saw. They're coming back here for this season as they're both at the collegiate level. Under a minute to go in period number 3. Shane Tobin trying to drive around. Puts a shot on, and George Cote will hold on. Will he keep it alive? He will not. And the face-off will be right in the Capper end of the ice here with 48.1 to go. Just a reminder for everybody that in about 15 minutes' time will be game number 2 of tonight's double feature. Tyler Kolbanski will whip this one wide of the cage. Homegrown Hockey will take on Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Puck drop slated for 8:15 Eastern Time right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But unfortunately, the team of Breakout Sports Broadcasting on their way to starting the 2026 season 0-3. Ryan Kenna, who got the goal scoring started in this game, looking for one final last-ditch effort. Sinato with it, not able to get around Tyler Kolbanski. Kolbanski just trying to get out of his own end, looking for one final nail in the coffin there as Capper. One last chance. Young on his horse. Gets it around, trying to find Chong. But that will do it. Capper Hockey Services will take game number 1 of the night, 7-2, your final score. As Capper will move to 2-1 on the season, and Breakout Sports Broadcasting will fall to 0-3. And a tie for last. Still looking for their first win of the season. They will play later on here on Wednesday night. Well, they'll take on Hockey House Podcast, the other winless team, if memory serves me right. But that'll do it for game number 1 of the night. And we'll be back here in just a few moments' time for the start of game number 2 between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. One game down, one to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for the back end of tonight's double feature event of the Jersey Pro League Club Division. Tonight's game is between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Trey Wright bringing you back in the action. So we have got one heck of a battle on our hands here between LSW and Homegrown Hockey. After a 7-2 win for Capper Hockey Services in the opening game tonight over Breakout Sports Broadcasting, we've got the second game on tap. We'll dive into it here with 2 minutes to go in period. 2 minutes to go before we'll get things underway. Starting off with the home team, designated home team for this game, the Homegrown Hockey William Patterson national team, as they've got almost every single player on the ice, aside from Roman Kirillichev, playing for the Pioneers of William Patterson. And to say that this team has got chemistry would be a massive, massive understatement. For this homegrown team that has played for the last 2 seasons, including this one, of course, this William Patterson-centric team that has been around ever since the 2024 season, back when they played under the banner of, I want to say, College Hockey Buzz. Back when it was a 6-team league. If memory serves me right, trying to remember here. But nonetheless, they've got their heavy hitters. You look at guys like Jason Lastra, Gavin Aikini, especially Thomas Swardow. What cannot he do? Currently one of the leaders in the league here in the Jersey Pro League Club Division. And, of course, Homegrown Hockey, a perfect 2-0 for their first couple of starts here in 2026, and then across the ice to Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. They haven't gotten off to the best start of the season so far. They've got a couple of subs on their side. They've got Tommy Keogh wearing Lou DeFalco's 44, and Trey Mulholland will be wearing Brandon Ariel's 5. A little bit of a color rush game between these two. With Homegrown Hockey, who wore white and baby blue last year, now going to navy blue and tan. And of course, Mr. Lemon Stick Wax sticking with their kit colors, going with a slightly different kit design. Some stripes on the shoulders and a slightly different uniform set for Ryan Solotist and Nathan Clack. Not only are they mic'd up for this game, they have also got some GoPros on their helmets, so they'll be providing some up-close POV footage of tonight's game, and it is definitely going to be a fun one. Here is the second game of tonight's doubleheader. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's broadcast here of the Jersey Pro League. And it has certainly been a ton of fun, and indeed was College Hockey Buzz. Now, this William Patterson-centric group played for back in the 23-24 season. But taking a look at tonight's goaltending matchups, it's going to be Mitchell Jansarak, who was the goalie that played for the back end of the Capper BSB game for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. So Jansarak this season so far 0-2 with LSW with an 11.76 GAA and a 747 save percentage for the Denville, New Jerseyan. And he'll be going up against Frankie Smith, the Little Fairy, New Jerseyan. Of course, the starting goaltender from William Patterson last year, 2-0 with a perfect 3 GAA on the season so far and a really good 89.8 save percentage for the Pioneer goaltender. Playing here for Homegrown Hockey in that beautiful color chrome helmet that he's got on here in the JPL. A couple other players to watch out for. Of course, you cannot count out Logan Prestrelsky. 6 points on the season in 2 games, 4 goals in the opening night game against Breakout Sports Broadcasting. The young man who's been all over the place from the memory serves me right, the Brooklyn Aviators to the Red Bank Generals and to the William Patterson Pioneers, and now here to the Jersey Pro League for his first season. But it'll be Thomas Swardow across from Nathan Clack, taking on the opening faceoff tonight for game number 2. Swardow versus Clack, Pioneer versus Rowan Prof. Clack talking with the lines person as we're underway here for game number 2 of the night. Of course, Clack not only wearing the GoPro, he's got a tiara on the bucket there. And he's currently trying to wheel and deal across to Zach Taylor. Clack trying to take it away from Prestralski, trying to get it back to Ryan Solotis, and will be taken back here by Roman Kirillichev. Kirillichev, the lone non-William Patterson skater, trying to wheel it away from the 13 of Daniel Jakob, playing for the College of New Jersey. Familiar name here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting, of course, him, Ryan Solotis, and a couple other skaters, and they score. Not even a minute into the contest, Thomas Swartout proves his worth. It's 1-0 Homegrown. And what a start. You couldn't ask for a better start than that, folks. Wow. So Swartout. Not only about, he scored with 38 seconds into the game to make it 1-0 Homegrown. And that is that explosive HGH offense that we're talking about. And they're looking to go at it again. Kirillichev trying to get it back to Swartout. And this will be lifted out. No, glove back down there. The 22 of Stephen Dempsey, the other skater. That is not from the William Patterson Pioneers. They last played for the Violets of NYU. Dempsey not able to keep it in. Kirillichev will find it. And he'll put it on the tape of Dan Testa. Testa trying to run through a bunch of players. Swartout trying to get it back over to Matthew O'Donnell. Save made by Jansarak. And this will find Solotis, the other GoPro and mic'd up skater. Of course, Sam Wissemer doing her mic'd up segments in almost all the games here in the Jersey Pro League. Some good moves out of Prestralski. He'll fire it, just goes wide. Jason Lastra, another longtime veteran. Aikini not able to hold on to that one at the slot. And Dan Foley will track all the way back down. And he'll try to find the 9 of Harrison Wheeler. He'll do so. Trying to chip it back out there the other way was Colin Reese. Liam Forster finding his way around. Chased there by Lastra. Forster still trying to dance away from the 10 in navy blue. This will be taken back out there as Troy Mulholland will bank it down. Trying to go down the length there is JT Verdino. Another returner for this LSW team. Verdino on his tape. Taylor trying to get in position. Taylor still with it. Rather, Verdino still with it. Finds Mulholland. Mulholland trying to cycle around. Forster with a chance. It's loose on the slot. Smith trying to get across. And somehow it stayed out. Lastra's got it. And he'll wheel it out. Forster trying to chase after it, but it will be Prestralski. First one to it in the offensive zone. Overskates the vulcanized rubber a tad. And Forster trying to collect it. It's LSW, both teams trying to catch their breath there as Frankie Smith credited for a pair of saves. Lastra chipping it down. Prestralski trying to give chase after it once again. He has been on here for quite some time. The young burly man from Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Like we said, 4 goals and 2 assists on the season so far. But it's Verdino with a chance, and he cranks it wide. Remains in play, however, and LSW will hold the zone. Trying to find it there once again was a skater. That was Logan John wearing his jersey from last year. Trying to be back off to the races once again is Daniel Foley. He's partially taken there. James Grohe, the Hillsborough, New Jersey native, not able to get anything there. Verdino overskated it. Taken back here by Taylor. Taylor will make it Reese, playing for Rutgers University's D1 program. Trying to dish it in. Finding it back over to Tommy Keogh. Keogh top of the point over to Dan Jakob. Jakob with a chance. It'll eventually find Keogh once again. Keogh trying to wheel it around. Finds it back over to John. John shot. Over the crossbar it goes. Trying to get it back over to Reese again. Reese battling for it. Grohe right behind him. Make that Dan Testa. And he'll find Thomas Swartout. We'll say none of this nonsense. And Swartout, the lone goal scorer in this game. He gets around Logan John. He gets around everybody. He cannot get around Jansarak. And Jansarak, that one went over him. That one waffle board into the corner. Collected once again by Jakob. And again, those long legs and that tall frame of Thomas Swartout sitting at 6'3", 210 pounds. It's hard to believe he's only 6'3". Again, him and Austin Teets last year, the twin towers of William Patterson. Teets graduating as Matthew O'Donnell wasn't able to get that one there from Prestrelski. Dempsey on it once more as O'Donnell trying to cycle it around, turning it over in the offensive zone as Homegrown, and Clack will touch it up here. Over to Albert Scarmato, and that one right in front. Frankie Smith running into traffic, and here comes Roman Kirillichev, still looking for his first point of the season. Off a body it goes. That was Matthew O'Donnell who took a shot. Tape-to-tape pass. John has got it. Here's Logan John with a waffle board. That one nearly rebounded off. There's two 25s on the ice. We'll have to see who the other 25 is. O'Donnell, cross slot. A little too much mustard on that shot there for Kirillichev. That pass for Kirillichev, but Kirillichev on it once again. We got an HGH player going to the locker room. That is Aiden Swain. Going down there for repairs, I believe, is Albert Scarmato with it. Scarmato, a freshman with the College of New Jersey last year, will find the 5 of Troy Mulholland. Loose in front, Smith having to do some dance moves. Rebound came back over, it's off the iron, still it's loose on there. Smith trying to drive it across, it'll poke it out. Still LSW's trying to fire in, and Smith will finally cover it up for the pause. 7 shots on goal for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax and Frankie Smith standing tall, and that was some rapid-fire shots that Frankie would probably see 2 years ago back when he played for the New Jersey 87s in the Eastern Hockey League Premier level. The LSW trying to get some greasy goals there on a couple of good chances. Frankie Smith not able to let any of them in. That one goes wide, and you can really see it in how he plays. He plays very aggressively and very energetically. He goes for the puck, and you saw it right there on another chance. Rebound came back over, and Smith is just trying to hold it, not able to get a grasp of it. But you can see he has like a little bundle of energy, and he makes a great glove save on a shot. That was another great chance there out of Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. That was Ryan Solotis with a drive. Solotis looking for his second goal of the season for the TCNJ D2 skater. Lastra's pass intercepted. Jakob on it. That one waffle boarded high into the air. You can probably hear that one from all the way outside on the sidewalk in front of RWJ Barnabas Health. A lot of frantic play. Jakob on it. Looking to go back across. Nobody there. John not able to keep it in. And this will be Jakob skating all the way in his own end. He lost it. Quick chance and a quick save by Jansarak. He had to react quickly as Jason Lastra picked up the loose change and fired it towards the 4x6. LSW still just trying to find anything that they can. This one off the skate of Solotis. Icing is waved off, and Dempsey has got it. 7:20 to go in period number 1. And just like we saw in the first game tonight, a very quick-moving opening period. Well, the first half already in the books, and it's still 1-0 thanks to Thomas Swartout's hysterics. 38 seconds into the period. Dempsey finding Foley. Foley still waiting for it, not able to hold on to possession. Verdino now screaming down the near side. With the right wing comes JT Verdino. He's able to windmill around Anthony O'Brien. Here he is on Frankie Smith, and Smith made the initial save and kicked out the rebound. We talked about that bundle of energy that young man has got, and he has made some great saves. 13 saves on 13 shots, and an absolute nuke from long range, just steered wide. That was Harrison Whaler who sent that one bombing towards the 4x6. Fortunately, nobody was in the way of that blast. Jakob opens a lane for Reese. Not able to do much of it there. And going back to collect it is Ben Winston. Winston trying to get it back to the 10 of Gavin Jacoby. Plays for Sacred Heart's AC/DC program. 5:53 to go in period one, and Jansarak with the save and the pause. And only his fourth shot faced of the night, but he's only got 3 saves on those 4 shots, and Frankie Smith on the other end of the ice. He has been very busy. 13 shots on 13 saves on 13 shots. Like we said, he just plays with a lot of energy. We saw that on, I saw that a lot whenever I would cover games for the 87s whenever they played the Philadelphia Little Flyers in the last couple of years. Keogh's chance just to flex wide. Race for the free puck on the other way, won by O'Donnell. O'Donnell around Forster, trying to find it there. Crashing defense made there by Mulholland. And Forster around his own goaltender. Will come across the New Jersey Devils logo. Forster with it, trying to find a trailer there in Scarmato, and it's quickly taken away by HGH. Kirillachev on it, O'Donnell to his right. Kirillachev will keep it himself, shot it off the back of the skate of O'Donnell. Don't see that often, and here comes Albert Scarmato off to Logan John, and he is just offside. And that is why I knew that name sounded familiar for Troy Mulholland. Played for the New Jersey 87s EHL program last year. Seen a lot of junior talent here in the Jersey Pro League. Seen a lot of familiar faces from the USPHL, the EHL, and even the North American Hockey League. O'Donnell's chance goes wide. Swartout trying to give chase. Again, it's incredible that Swartout has got that dexterity. He's only 6'3". I think elite prospects might be off by a handful of inches as O'Donnell's chance was poke checked. Swartout will collect the crumbs. Gets it back, refires it up. There's a chance for Dempsey that was denied. Kirillachev trying to go through, nothing there. Clack has got it. And the trapezoid he goes, and he'll reset from his own goal line, and this finds nobody. And a clean icing as catching back up with it is Dan Testa. .405 to go in period number one. And this will come into the face-off end. Mulholland trying to drive after it, nothing there. He's trying to get it for Forster. Instead, this is taken back by O'Donnell, trying to get it up to Swartout once more, and this will find Clack. We talked about how Nathan Clack was having a good conversation with the lines person. And Clack, whenever he's not playing with the Rowan University Profs down the ACHA Division II level, moonlighting as a junior referee for the USPHL and the EHL whenever he is needed. One of the best referees in the area. Both referee and lines person, whatever you need, Nate Clack is your man in terms of refereeing games. And he has proven to be a pretty good hockey player as well. Of course, calling junior games for Mercer, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, whatever the like. It's always good to see that young man's name on the sheet for the third team for the referees. Of course, quite a few good named referees. One of them being trying to grab it there. Frankie Smith had to do a little bit of a dance. Not able to get it there. There was Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, and they have had some really good chances as Zach Taylor trying to load the gun up. No dice there. Rebound came back over. Clack not able to drive it away. This one off of the glove of Ben Winston. Rebound came back over to Zach Taylor. And fortunately for us, Zachary Taylor, the only skater from the Marist Red Foxes, compared to the amount that we had last year that all had red buckets and red shells, I think it's safe to say it's Easy idea to identify Zach Taylor on the fly, given he's the only one with a red bucket and a red shell playing for the Red Foxes. Speak of the devil, Taylor's got the puck. Finds it over to Jakob. Jakob shot on net, and Smith will decide it away. 16 shots on to Frankie Smith in this opening period, but he still remains tall. His team has helped him out a little bit. Testo looking to help out a little bit more. Jansarak will deny that one once again. Lastra's got it. Lastra looking for the backhander. Trying to find it there once again is Wheeler. Wheeler looking to wheel and deal. Jansarak on his belly. He's able to make the stop, though. 1:23 to go in period number 1, and now Homegrown beginning to wake up a little bit here. Foley trying to give chase. He'll do so. Trying to pinball it out himself there is Zach Taylor, and will find Jakob. Jakob down the near side. Trying to put on the brakes there. When Lastra made the save with the body, comes back over. Logan Prestrelski on his horse. Prestrelski in a foot race with 3 other LSW skaters. Gets it to the goal line. Under a minute to go in period number 1. Prestrelski to Lastra. Lastra with a chance, and Jansarak holds on for the pause. And like we're talking about with the referees, of course, one of the best in the area, Alex Galushek, retiring after this most recent junior season. Nate Clack will have to be following in his footsteps as one of the best referees in this area, and we wish Alex the best of luck in his future endeavors. Aikini not able to get the pause, and here comes Verdino. Verdino puts on the brakes, and Smith able to make the save. Follow-up chance from Jacoby goes wide. Frankie Smith having to come to the rescue a lot here. Verdino with another chance. He scores! JT Verdino finally darts one behind Frankie Smith, and it's tied at 1. Couldn't get it on the initial chance, and the follow-up right under the left shoulder of Smith. And it is a 1-1 game with 30 seconds to go in the first period for Verdino. It's his 4th goal of the season. And it couldn't come at a better time as this LSW team was pounding that crease of Smith. So with 10 seconds to go in period number 1, we're back to where we started from. Mulholland with a chance, not able to get things there. Rebound came back over, looking for one final chance was Reese, but that will do it. So a goal 22 seconds into the game for HGH, and a goal with 30 seconds remaining in the first period for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax will bring us back dead even at 1 apiece after 15 minutes of play. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments for the start of period number 2 here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting's coverage of the Jersey Pro League. $15 down, 30 to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for the start of the second period of play between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright. It's James Grohe finds the ice for the opening time tonight. It's 1-1 with a couple of goals bookending an exciting first period of play. It was Thomas Swartout that got the goal scoring started in the first period. 38 seconds into the first period. But with 30 seconds to go in the first period, JT Verdino, the Purdue University Northwest skater, Was able to get his 4th goal of the season, 5th point on the year, only 1 point away from Logan Prostrowski, who currently leads in terms of goal scoring, if I'm in points, if I'm not mistaken, in the club division with 6 throughout the opening 2 games. Forster trying to get around, nothing there. And Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, they're still looking for their first win of the season. Rebound came back over. It's still loose in front of Smith, and shooting it way wide there was LSW. That was Forster, who looked like he was using a pitching wedge rather than a hockey stick. And now off to the races once again is Swart out, and he's partially blocked there. He had his stick lifted and poked away by the 44 of Tommy Keogh. And Clack trying to get off to the races. He and Harrison Wheeler fighting for the vulcanized rubber. This has been a pinball-esque game tonight. One end of the ice, there's action. On the other end of the ice, there's action. 20-8 the shot ratio, with LSW having twice as many shots. John trying to find things up. Bouncing puck taken here by the 5 of Testa. Another skater from William Patterson's national team. Thomas Swart out, able to drive around Ikeni. Make that the 13 of Daniel Yakov. Got my 13s mixed up there for a moment. And Mitchell Jansarak will hold on for the pause. Swart out, will try to find O'Donnell. Ikeni, that time it is Ikeni. Will find it in there from the point. Comes back over. Fight for it on the other way. Clack will beat Ikeni to the hash marks, so the icing will be waved off. John trying to find it on the other side. Not able to get to Taylor. Ikeni with it, waiting for an option. Scott O'Donnell right behind him. Ikeni will stick it up. Gets there with Ben Winston. Clack now in transition. Across, Scarmato with a drive, up into the air, way up into the air. Who wants it? Nobody does. And will eventually find O'Donnell. O'Donnell right in front of his own goaltender. The two 27s coming together. Taken back once again. And that one saved by Frankie Smith once more. Trying to see who the extra 25 is on the ice. I believe that is a URI helmet. I don't see any other Rhode Island skaters. I'm not sure if that might be, what's his name? That might be Riley Gilligan pulling double duty. Lastra, spinorama move trying to get around the 25. I believe that might be Ben Winston, though. Those are also Jersey Hitmen colors. So I believe it should be Ben Winston. Trying to get in there is Prostrowski once more. Not able to get around Winston. Yakov off to the races. Yakov not able to get it around Jason Lastra. And those two rivals from ACHA M1. ECHA versus NECHL skaters as Lastra trying to backhand one onto Jansarak. Still it was loose for a moment in the slot. Comes back over to the far side corner. And O'Donnell just a little bit out of position. He's got to chase all the way back 200 feet of ice. And Frankie Smith will set things up on a silver platter for him. O'Donnell to Lastra. Lastra caught in the skates, trying to knife it away from him is Solotist. Solotist up to Reese. Here's Reese. He gets taken down in a heap. No call on the play as Smith will hold on for the pause. And the whole Mr. Lemon Stick Wax bench getting up in arms. And I agree, that should have potentially been a penalty there against Homegrown Hockey. But we'll continue to play on. As Forster now with it. Liam Forster, veteran of the University of Delaware, HGH Division I program. Flagship program over at our friends at the 412 over for Delaware Hockey Network. Troy Mulholland still on it, trying to give chase, and the 2-5s will go after the vulcanized rubber. Dan Testa will win that battle over Mulholland. He'll get it back over to Dempsey. Dempsey up to Lastra. Lastra with space. Lastra with options. Lastra to Foley. Jansarak will kick it out. Kick save out of Jansarak. Was kept in the zone. Now will not be. Resetting is Lastra. Lastra with open planes in front of him. Rebound kicked out once again by Jansarak. And now potential numbers the other way for LSW. Wheeling and dealing once again is Tommy Keogh on it once more. Shot, save. Rebound came back to Mulholland. Forster will hold on to it. We'll see what the Delaware Blue Hen can do. We'll get up to Mulholland. Mulholland with a chance trying to go over the shoulder and under the helmet of Smith. Not able to get anything there. On it once again there is Grohe. James Grohe coming from Hillsborough, New Jersey. In fact, he and I were part of the same Boy Scout troop together out of Neshannock Station for a Troop 1776. He was 3 years under me, if memory serves me right. And a sharp angle shot there from JT Verdino goes wide. Still one apiece, and now we'll get a penalty. Delayed call. Trying to score here on a delayed chance is LSW. Jansarak will come to the bench. Extra skater on for LSW. That one just trails wide. Scarmato will collect the rebound. Scarmato all the way up. Yaka playing quarterback here on the 6-on-5. This goes into the corner. Nobody will chase it for HGH, and Yaka will keep it alive. Nobody will come to it in particular. Finally, Harrison Wheeler will touch up. And with 8:10 to go in the middle frame, a chance for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax to take their first lead of the game coming up right here on a tripping call. We'll see who will take it. I believe it'll be Liam Forster. And it will be Liam Forster. Still looking for his first goal and point of the season. Forster starts on the near side. And the doors close just in time for Frankie Smith. He's able to make a stick save. And we remain deadlocked at 1. And as for the Rhode Island Rams LSW skater, I believe it is Chase Gaudioso wearing the additional 25. The other 25, that is the current jersey, that is Logan John. As John will send it in, trying to find Verdino on it once more. Gaudioso trying to glove it down. Gets it back to Verdino. Verdino in close shooting and nearly making it there was Logan John. Will come back to Verdino. Verdino loading it up. Scarmato trying to drive around. Looking to get it back to Verdino. Wide open planes. Gaudioso trying to drive in. Nothing there. Scarmato trying to give chase. Taken back by Thomas Swartout. And we can cue the Bon Jovi in game 2 tonight. We're halfway home through the second game. 1 goal apiece from either team. Swartout, good chance, good save, better save by Jansarak. Swartout had it intercepted by Scarmato, and screaming down the left wing is Verdino. Verdino drops it back. Shot from Logan John, steered aside. Verdino will collect it again. Verdino surveying, loose in the low slot. John trying to jam at it. Smith will cover up and say no. Make it now 28 shots on goal against Frankie Smith. He has saved 27 of them. And Mr. Lemon Stick Wax has been putting pucks on net in spades here tonight. Nate Clack chased out. Ryan Solotist will join him. Replace him, I should say. Here comes Kirillichev down the left wing, this time on the far side. Drops it back. Swarta with a howitzer and just missed. It just went wide once again. Aikini kept it in there for a moment. This one deflected aside by Gaudioso, and here comes Gaudioso. He broke his stick at the worst possible time. Oh, that is a horrible feeling as a hockey player. Solotis, he shoots and scores! Ryan Solotis with a little an assist from the Lumber will bring LSW out front. It's 2-1. And take a look right there. So that was when Gaudioso's stick broke. And you can see a little piece there. It just hindered that shot of Solotis just enough to where I think it may have tricked Smith a little bit. And you know what? Give an assist to Gaudioso on that. For a stick being there, in the lane, creating just a little bit of a diversion where I don't think Smith had the proper angle on that rebound. But nonetheless, Ryan Solotis has got his second of the season, and Mr. Lemonstick Wicks has got their first lead of the night past the halfway point of the game. So how about that for a little bit of hockey magic here in Newark? So now Homegrown Hockey, who has led or been tied up until this point, trying to get it back. Logan Prestrelski trying to answer the call, gets it across. Wheeler with a chance, another broken stick. That nearly took the head off of Jan Sirac. That was dangerous right there. Unfortunately, we'll continue to play on. A lot of broken twigs. That time it was Nate Clack's twig that broke. And he'll get another stick. Forster on it once again. Was snuffed out on a penalty shot. Point blank chance. Verdino not able to get his second of the evening. Scarmato dancing, and that's going to come in and out of the zone. Rather, that was from Keogh. He was not able to toe the blue line on the inside part of it, and we'll come back here for the pause. Of course, Ryan Solotist and Nate Clack have had their fair share of action here tonight. Of course, Clack breaking his stick. And Solotist scoring that most recent goal, the go-ahead goal. Of course, those two, the two mic'd up in this game. Shot, score! Colin Reese, right place, right time. Finds the loose change to the bottom of the slot. It's 3-1 LSW. And Colin Reese right in the low slot, picked up the loose change like it was milk money on a silky feed. 3 consecutive goals from Mr. Lemonstick Wax. This LSW team with a 1-2-3 trio of uppercuts on this homegrown hockey program. And HGH trying to find their footing as Anthony O'Brien has got it. His shot deflects up into the netting and out of play with 5:11 to go in the middle period. And this is a vastly different period of hockey than what we saw in period number 1, where it was a lot more even. In this period, the ice seems heavily tilted in Mr. Lemonstick Wax's favor, as Homegrown really hasn't been able to get across the opposing blue line and get any sort of chances. Grohe with a chance, and that one just deflected wide. He was just trying to do that out of desperation. As one player got knocked down, that was Aiden Swain. Trying to get around there. Once again, a big collision. That was Anthony O'Brien. He got into it with Swain once more, as those two with a big collision. A couple of big bodies colliding as teammates. Kirillichev will hop on. Trying to play a knife away from Holland, and this will be offside against LSW. 4:20 to go in period 2. 3-1, LSW leads. Keogh in the near side, far side corner gets it back to Mulholland. Mulholland will finally get it back to Keogh. Keogh, surrounded there by Testa, will find Reese, the most recent goal scorer. Reese has it taken away from him by O'Donnell, and that's something that Homegrown has really been good at so far, is those turnovers. Stretch pass over, Roman Kirillichev off to the races, and a 2-on-0. Kirillichev shot denied by Jansarak. Kirillichev, who has not been on the score sheet yet in his one goal, in his one game he has played so far. So close to bringing his team back within a goal, but instead they remain down by 2 on what could be their best chance of the second period so far. Mulholland overskated the vulcanized rubber for a bit, able to get it to Forrester. Forrester trying to drive around everybody. It'll eventually find Verdino. Verdino will kick it back over to himself, keeps it away from Testa. Verdino still with it. Verdino with a drive, and that one's sticked away by Smith once more. Collecting it back once again is Jacoby. Jacoby finding it back to Mulholland. Mulholland, his pass intercepted by O'Donnell. O'Donnell looking for the stretch pass once again. Here's take 2 for Kirillichev. In on Jansarak this time. He jockstraps him home and scores. Roman Kirillichev said, "Fool me once, shame on you, and save me twice, shame on me." This time, he's able to out-deke and dangle Mitchell Jansarak, and Homegrown Hockey back within 1. So the goal scoring, just like we saw in that first game of the night, has a couple of great chances, great tic-tac-toe maneuvers, and 5 seconds after they bring it back within 1, Homegrown Hockey ties the game at 3. And we were just about to mention that just like in that first game, the goals being bookended here by Homegrown, with LSW the meat in that sandwich, but tic-tac-toe the way to go. I believe that was Gavin Aikini who was the lucky man in the bumper slot to knock it home. And it is 3-3 for both sides. And what a response for Homegrown Hockey after letting up 3 goals in a row. They scored 2 in a row. Thomas Swartout blew a tire. And that'll be cleared out here by Jakob. Jakob sends it all the way up, and Aikini will hold on here for the icing, and this will come back into the offensive zone. 1 goal aside in the first period for both teams, and now 2 goals apiece for both teams in the second period. Wouldn't be surprised to see 3 goals apiece in that third period to bring it up to a 6-6 game going in overtime. That could be the name of the game, or Homegrown Hockey could continue to try and pour it on. But it's JT Verdino who got the goal scoring started for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax late in the first period. Finds it over, was in the slot for a moment. Scarmato trying to play traffic, clear traffic for Verdino. Verdino will find Scarmato and will clear back over. Jakob with it, bouncing puck. Was in the slot. Nobody was able to get it, and Chase Gaudioso will chase after this one. Gaudioso on the tape of Jakob. Jakob he's surrounded by navy and tan jerseys, still waiting for an option. Will just dump it back over to the other 13 of Aikini. Aikini will send things up. Trying to find it there is Wheeler, and that's pitched out by LSW. Final 67 seconds to go in period number 2. It has been a good one so far. And it was Harrison Wheeler who got that, who was credited with that goal. Players collide. It was Lastra and Scarmato, both giving each other taps, making sure they're okay. As Wheeler, the most recent goal scorer, trying to get it back over. Oh, Jansarak, he cue-balled shot that way out away from his crease. Free puck on the other side, and this one just kept back in. Hand pass is the call, and Clack will touch up on this, and this will come back out of the zone. Just taking a look at the goal scoring. As Homegrown Hockey, the goal scoring started, Thomas Swartout was able to score only a handful of seconds into the game. But it was JT Verdino, thanks to Colin Reese and Gavin Jacoby. Then Ryan Solotist from Nate Clack, so Clack did indeed get an assist on that play. Meanwhile, Jansarak on his back, and Clack has got it. Clack trying to make some noise, and he will get it picked away from Dempsey. 5 seconds ago in period number 2. One final chance from Mr. Lemonstick Wax, trying to break the drought. But they're not able to break things open. And just like at the end of period 1, after 2 periods of play, we're deadlocked at 3 apiece. It's going to be a fantastic third period when we come back to tonight's coverage of Jersey Pro League Club Division Hockey here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. $30 down, 15 to go as we welcome you back to the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for the start of the third period of play between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemonstick Wax here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Trey Wright on the call. And with 15 minutes to go, we are deadlocked at 3 goals apiece between HGH and LSW. 1 goal aside in the first period, then 2 goals aside in the second period. The trend remains the same. We are in for a boatload of goals, a touchdown of goals, if you will, here in this third period for either side. And it could be seeing a 6-6 hockey game going into a shootout. The way things have been going in this game, Nathan Clack, who's got 1 assist on the night so far, thanks to him breaking a stick, gets it to Ryan Solotist, and that one just steered away by Matthew O'Donnell. O'Donnell has been exceptional so far at defense, where that was Stephen Dempsey, I believe, who was playing defense in the low slot. It was Dempsey. Dempsey had it lost for a moment. Forster not able to get it to anybody, and we'll find Aiden Swain. Clack still with it. Clack not able to kick it back over to himself. Keeping it alive is Taylor. Solotus with a shot. Rebound just gloved down by Frankie Smith, the goaltender. And Anthony O'Brien will kick it back over to himself. O'Brien, Grohe, and Swain, third line out here for HGH, and James Grohe with a chance. Jansarak just able to make the stop. And in transition comes Gavin Jacoby. Clack's shot, not able to get anything power-wise there. Comes back over to Keogh. Keogh will keep it in at the blue line. HGH trying to scramble in defensive-wise. Keogh with a shot through traffic. And that one saved by friendly fire. I believe that was off the backside of Zach Taylor. Kirillachev now wheeling and dealing. 1 goal already tonight for the young man from Fort Lee. Swartout across the red line. Pops up into the air. Swartout will get it back over to himself. A little overskated it. Swartout still with it, trying to dangle. Jansarak trying to pin it in at the post. Back to Swartout. Somehow he's over at the left side circle. Missed wide. Kirillachev trying to keep it in. Taylor will knife it out. Foot race on the other side. Kirillachev will keep it away from two LSW skaters and will find it back to Aikini. Wheeler. Not able to skate this as it will come back to Dan Jakob. Jakob and Wheeler fighting for it. Keogh trying to give chase and will find Swartout. Swartout got the goal scoring started back in period number 1. Will knife it back up to Wheeler. Wheeler trying to cycle it back down to Kirillachev. And Kirillachev will get it back to Wheeler. And those two will play patty cake with the vulcanized rubber. Chase Gaudioso will now get on his horse. Gaudioso down the near side. Trying to cut back in. Ran into the pylon of Aikini. Aikini trying to get it around Keogh. Loose puck for Jacoby, not able to take advantage as Wheeler trying to flip it out to Swartout. Swartout waiting for an option, finds Kirillachev. Kirillachev down the left wing. He'll look for somebody, finds Swartout down the left wing again. He tried to go off the back of Jansarak's mask, I believe. Not able to get anything there. Testa now with it. Finds Swartout. Swartout trying to bumble and fumble a little bit there. Nobody was home at the left side circle. It'll find Aikini, who will recycle it to Swartout. Bounce it right in front. And making the pause is Mitchell Jansarak once again. This time on another chance for Roman Kirillachev, looking for his second. 11 minutes and 34 seconds to go here in period number 3. Big hits there in the corner as Gaudioso got tied up there with Dan Foley for a brief moment. Lastra will keep the zone and just trying to put any more rubber they can here on a Mitchell Jansarak. Is Homegrown Hockey. That one just steers wide. Gaudioso with it. Trying to put it up for JT Verdino. Verdino with some speed. Verdino with a shot. That one goes in the air, nearly gloved down himself by Reese. Reese, one of the 3 goal scorers, nearly handballed it in the back of the 4x6. Don't see that often. You see a 2-on-1 often, but Homegrown not able to get anything there. Dan Foley, he and Chase Gaudioso, they are hugging over there right in front of the FW Web Company logo. Right on the dasher boards. Lastra dancing around Reese. Lastra still around everybody, and Lastra will send that one off the Canadian flag and way out of play. I think he was joking that since he hit the Canadian flag, that should count for something. 30 shots now on to Frankie Smith in this game compared to the 15 faced by Mitchell Jansarak. And it is tied at 3 goals apiece, and you've got the feeling whoever scores the next time is likely going to end up winning this hockey game with how incredible it has been so far. Trying to pick it back over to himself as Forster. And he'll pitch it back over to O'Donnell, who lost it. Trying to get there is Mulholland. Mulholland trying to wheel it. And he'll wheel it right up into the netting on the other side with 30 more seconds ticking off the clock. We've got some stop-and-go hockey here in the early portions of this third period, and we'll pause. Face-off, won by Lastra. Lastra banks it back out in the neutral zone, taken back by Forster, who will find Mulholland. Mulholland trying to get it up to Verdino. Verdino, he and Forster were fighting for it. Same team here, guys. And Forster will eventually cycle it back over to Troy Mulholland. Mulholland gets it back over to Jacoby. Make that Reese. Reese looking for it. Finds Jason Lastra. I feel like I've said Jason Lastra's name several times. This one way out of play. And Nate Clack and the whole LSW bench was saying, you know what, I believe that may have been a way over the glass. I think that may have been a delay of game penalty. But we continue to play on. .9:30 remains in this third period, tied at 3 apiece. Prestrelski trying to get it around. It'll eventually find Jason Lastra near side. Lastra turns it over. Forster looking for it. Forster waiting for an option, waiting for reinforcements, comes it back to Mulholland. Troy Mulholland will send it around the half wall. Taken back here once again by O'Donnell. It'll find Forster. Forster through traffic, and that one sticked aside, I believe. That was Mulholland who may have accidentally sticked it in the other direction, and it could have been the go-ahead goal. Forster not done yet. He has been busy on this shift, and he's pickpocketed there by Matthew O'Donnell. O'Donnell down the left wing. Transitions back over into the near side. Transitions back over, I should say, into the center ice. O'Donnell finds Lastra. Lastra across, and they had the 19 of Foley wide open, but he wasn't able to get anything there, and now a 3-on-1. Mulholland across. Scarmato partially tied up. He wasn't able to get anything on net. Back and forth we continue to go. Foley trying to find things up for Grohe. Grohe in the corner, spinning away from Solotist. Grohe waiting for an option, flips it over, trying to find Wheeler. Wheeler now looking for an option. Had the most recent goal for LSW, for HGH, I should say, to tie this game up at 3 apiece, and it's Ryan Solotist who will beat out the icing. He's not able to find Clack or any other yellow jersey. This skitters all the way down, icing waved off by the linesperson, and Dan Jakob will come to his own goal line to reset with 7:47 to go in the third period. This game, a powder keg, ready to take off and explode, and trying to get things going there is Clack. It's on the goal line. Smith somehow made the save. We'll play on. Gaudioso now with it down on the right wing. Gaudioso, he fans on the shot, trying to get it back over for Clack, nothing there. Gaudioso recycles. The Rhode Island Ram waiting for an option. Finds the TCNJ Lion of Dan Jakob, and that one skitters wide. Jakob not able to clear it out. This skitters back all the way down, and it will be icing, and it will be. Zach Taylor, first one to it, and this will come back in the defensive zone of Homegrown Hockey. 7:11 to go in the third period. We're still tied at 3 apiece. It has been nothing short of a fantastic and close as you can get game here between Homegrown Hockey and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Homegrown, the defending champions from 2025, and Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, the champions from 2024. And a battle for JPL supremacy here this season. Homegrown and the #1 team in the division so far is Swartout spilled. Here comes Tommy Keogh down the far side. Lost it for a moment, sent it back over to Jakob. Jakob trying to dance on it. Former skater for the Synergy Uniforms team from last year is Jakob. Same thing for Ryan Solotist. Here's Kirillachev. He's going to be beat out by Jansarak, and Jansarak get it around him. He can. Gaudioso now with it. He overskated. That got caught in the referee's skate, and Swartout will take advantage. Not able to take too much advantage, however. Here comes Tommy Keogh once again. Keogh not able to get around the defense. Clack trying to get it back. Clack puts it on. Just goes off target. Finds Keogh on it once again. Finding it once more is Clack. Clack's pass intercepted, taken back by Gaudioso. Gaudioso with a drive and a kick save made by Smith. Kept in by Jakob once more at the point. Jakob sends it down, taken there by the 27 of Zach Taylor. Colin Reese, one of 3 goal scorers tonight. Lifts it up high into the air. Smith way out of his trapezoid. He will play it. And this is skated all the way down where Homegrown has got it. Here's Testa. Testa on a Jansarak. Jansarak a save with the left shoulder. Rebound bouncing in the low slot. Nobody in Navy and Beige able to get it. Reese drops it back. JT Verdino trying to get it. Nothing there. O'Donnell finding Swartout. Swartout looking for an option. This is pitched over. Kirillachev with it in the near side corner. Trying to go to the far side corner where he'll find Dan Testa, who will pinball it back over to Swartout. Swartout looking for it. Nothing there. Taken back. Verdino, who got the goal scoring started for LSW back in the first period. 5 minutes to go in a 3-3 hockey game. Forster trying to find it back over to Jacoby. Nothing there yet. Swartout with it once more. Swartout on the stretch pass. He finds Kirillichev. Kirillichev, he overskates it. Mulholland will collect it, and he'll take it away. That was nearly the third breakaway of the game for Roman Kirillichev. And instead, Mulholland still with it. Bumbled it over the blue line, took it in offsides, and will hold on for the pause. 4:36 to go in regulation. We're just under 5 minutes away from potentially getting a shootout here tonight in game number 2 of the week, and week number 3 of the Jersey Pro League. It is hard to believe it's already the third week of competition in the JPL. And that's what we've got upon us here tonight. Homegrown Hockey looking to start a perfect 3-0 on the season. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax trying to get their first win of the season, starting 0-2 out of the gate. Prestrelski, he has been kept off of the score sheet so far. Not able to keep it away from Forster. Forster to Verdino. Got their heavy hitters, Verdino to the ice. No call on the play. Here comes Prestrelski with some time and space. Poked out by Mulholland once more. Forster overskates the vulcanized rubber. Quickly gets it back before Foley was able to take it away from him. And Forster still with it. Dances back to the outside. Not able to get it back to Verdino. And here come the Pioneers. Rather, that's Homegrown Hockey, I should say. Lastra able to get around the defensive Gaudioso, but he had his stick around backwards. Prestrelski nearly had a chance before Solitis took it away from him. And now off to the races is John. Here comes John. Smith makes the save. He got the follow-up as well. 2 point-blank chances for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, and Frankie Smith saves both of them. Icing waved off, and Frankie Smith has been a machine. 34 shots faced and 31 of them saves. Can Homegrown Hockey, who was down 3-1 at one point in the game, they have made it 3 apiece late in that second period. Can they find a way to give their goaltender the win that he has definitely deserved here tonight? You can't count out Mitchell Jansarak, though. He has made his fair share of saves as well. Swartout on the far side, dancing in around Jansarak. Did he score? He did! Wasn't sure for a brief moment, but Thomas Swartout, who got the goal scoring started very early in the game, makes it 3 in a row for Homegrown Hockey, and they lead 4-3. And that pushing and pulling and pushing ever so more, especially in the end of that second period of play, has resulted in Homegrown gaining the lead late in this game. And now Mr. Lemon Stick Wax only has 2 minutes and 25 seconds to respond. Tessa across, Kirillichev, he shoots and scores! Tessa feeds it to Kirillichev, 2 goals on the night. And with time winding down even further, the mountaintop just got twice as harder for LSW to climb. Four goals in a row for Homegrown Hockey, and the defending champions only have to defend for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. What a game it has been tonight. But Mulholland and LSW not done yet. But Frankie Smith has faced a ton of shots here tonight. He has stood tall, and his team scoring 4 in a row to put them out in front by a pair. 100 seconds to go in the game. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax trying to make quick work of things here, as Logan John, who nearly had the go-ahead goal in this game, going down. He and Kirillichev colliding. And Liam Forster trying to change things here. Kirillichev has got in the near side corner, trying to feed it back out to Swartout. Both he and Kirillichev on hat trick watch tonight. Lastra will dump it in beyond the red line, taking some precious seconds off the clock. 65 seconds to go in the third period. It is a 5-3 lead in favor of Homegrown Hockey. Time winding down. Tommy Kia with under a minute to go. He's not able to hold on to it. Jansarak will remain in his cage for now, and this will be an icing call with 47 seconds to go in the third period, and Jansarak will go to the bench for the extra skater. Mr. Lemonstick Wax needs 2 goals to tie and 3 goals to try and take the lead. 6th skater on the ice. Can they take down Homegrown Hockey to hand them their first loss of the season? We'll find out. They've got only a handful of moments to work with. Clack through traffic, goes wide of the cage. Mulholland on the other side, surrounded there. He gets taken down by Foley. Kill on the other side, trying to get it down. Verdino will keep it in at the red line. 28 seconds to go. And LSW needing to work fast to get back in this game. Mulholland not able to get it around. Trying to get it there once again is O'Donnell. Trying to find it is Dempsey. Mulholland trying to play keep away from Dempsey. He'll find Verdino. Verdino trying to keep it away from Dempsey once again. Now under 10 seconds to go in the third period. One final chance for Verdino. He's pickpocketed, taken there by Lastra. He banks it off the end wall, and that will do it. 4 goals in a row and 31 saves on the night for the 31 of Frankie Smith. Will keep the undefeated streak alive for Homegrown Hockey. They win 5-3, and they move up to 3-0 to start the 2026 season of the Jersey Pro League Club Division as they take down Mr. Lemonstick Wax to hand LSW their 3rd consecutive loss to start the season. But what a game we had here tonight, and what a pair of games we had here this evening. And what a week 3 it has been to start things off here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. We had incredible action last night, and we had incredible action tonight, and we'll have some incredible pro action here tomorrow evening as 43 Oak will take on XHP. That'll be our lone game of tomorrow at 8:45 Eastern Time right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. This game's on almost every night this season for the next 3 days here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. But that will do it here for tonight's broadcast. On behalf of our crew here tonight, for Dylan Manfrey, for Corolla Pascal, for Emily Cott, and of course for Corolla Pascal once again, and for Colton Reynolds, the captain, the 2 captains of this Breakout Sports Broadcasting program. My name is Trey Wright, saying so long from tonight's broadcast here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 8:45 Eastern Time for XHP versus 43 Oak for the Pro Division on Tuesday nights here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Have a good evening, folks. We'll be back here tomorrow evening for game and day number 3 of the JPL 2026 season here in Week 3. Have a good evening, folks.